That's perfect.
Welcome back. This is Steph from Cold Blooded Freaks, and in today's episode, we are doing a new series called Deep Dives. And in Deep Dives, we get to sit down with breeders that are either the founders of a new gene or are working pretty deeply with a new gene and get all the questions that we have answered. The coolest thing about this is that we get everything from the single gene of the animal to the more complex genes, even with recessives. So you get everything from identification questions to even if it's a super or is it a recessive, what they think it is, all those fun things. And this first episode is with one of my favorite breeders out there, which is Chris Hernan, who is working very, very deeply with Scrambler. It is absolutely stunning. And this year, he has proven that there is a super scrambler. So you're not going to want to miss this episode. So sit back, get comfortable, grab a snack, because you're not going to want to miss a minute of this. Let's dive in. Welcome, Chris Hernan, to our YouTube page here. We are going to be talking to you about Scrambler. We are very excited because you are the man for the Scrambler gene. You've been producing some absolutely stunning babies and productions over the years, and I'm super excited to show everybody what you've been producing. And I want to ask you some of the questions that people have been asking us, and I'm sure they've been asking you. So,
Okay, awesome. So, my after talking to you guys originally, my thought was, let me start with what I believe is my single gene scrambler, and then just kind of build up as I go along, like add orange dream and show you what it looks like in another snake, add super orange dream, add super scrambler until you kind of get to some of those more spectacular combos that
perfect.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm really excited because I know a lot of people have asked me what it looks like in its single gene. And I know that you said you might not necessarily know for certain if you have that. Is that correct?
Yeah, the animal that I'll show you first, and we can show, whenever you guys want me to, but the animal I'm going to show you first, I initially just threw aside as a normal.
Okay.
And then I went back and looked at, I can't even remember at this point because I think he's 2 years old.
Mm,
Female's not ready to breed. I got a female just like him, and I've got him. But anyway, and I started looking, I go, I think that is maybe this single gene version of this. It kind of reminds me of spot nose, not that it shows itself like spot nose, but it's not very impressive
right.
until you start piling the genes on. And you'll see that as I show you the different animals too.
Okay. And who did you get your first scrambler from?
Ah, that's a tough question because I got it from two places that I know of. One from Ozzy because I've always idolized Ozzy and he's the original orange guy.
Mm,
And I also got it from Tom Barnhart from Barnhart Line Black Pastel,
okay. Okay.
and definitely from both places.
Okay. So it's probably mixed in some people's collections, possibly here and there, if they've
Oh,
bought anything from either one of those breeders.
yeah, and I think it's one of those things where it's out there. I think and we can edit, I guess, if you need to. But I think your first question is where did it come from, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but I made a combination called El Diablo,
Yes.
and I swore I would never name a combo because I thought it was so cheesy. But I said when I made this guy, I was like, I've got to call it something because it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And I knew the genes that were at play, and they don't look that good.
Hmm.
So I'm like, what else is here? So I just went about, 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years of trying to deconstruct him.
Okay.
And that's how I found Scrambler. And I actually, I didn't name the gene. Mark Mandic in Canada named the gene, and I was very close to isolating it, or maybe even had isolated it already, I think. And and then I saw Mark starting to post Scrambler stuff, and I just said, well, that looks fucking familiar.
Hmm.
And so, I contacted him. We started comparing notes, comparing pictures, and talking about it. And sure enough, it's the same thing. We were both working on it at about the same time.
Do you know if any of the genetic testing companies are working with identifying Scrambler as its
I,
own
I,
gene?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I would think if they were, they'd be talking to me or Mark. And
Right. I would think
I don't
so.
I don't have anybody talking to me or Mark about it. Well, I
Okay.
mean, maybe Mark. I don't know. I haven't talked to Mark in a few weeks,
Well, maybe
but
they should be.
maybe they should be. Well, you know what? Honestly, like you had said this a little earlier, it might be in other people's collections. It absolutely
Mm,
is. And I was certain that it must just be dominant, because I've had it for a long time in my stuff. Um, but I started making supers. I made a few supers last year, and I made a lot of supers this year.
yeah, you did.
And it's different,
Mm,
and it's cool. It's just another notch up.
yeah.
And I, unbeknownst to me, I'd even made some supers in the past, but I didn't know they were just cool. I
Mm,
just thought they were cool versions, but now I can see it.
yeah. It's so cool to watch all your productions this year, especially because they're just to that next level of intensity of oranges, and you could really see that scrambler popping out. And I've just been like, we creep on your Instagram all the time.
Well, thank you. That's great.
You're
At
welcome.
least I'm not doing it for no reason.
Oh my
If you
gosh.
creep away.
Yeah. we we definitely do all the time. We're always sending each other like look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. It's just they're so cool because we made some orange stuff and we showed you at the show and it was just we're like, "What is that?" And you're like, "That could be Scrambler." And I'm like, "I don't know." But we're also going to talk to you at the end of this about potentially buying one of the males that you have on MorphMarket
Oh, I like the sound of that.
because he looks interesting and we would definitely want to get Scrambler, like a definite Scrambler, into our collection. So
Awesome.
this way we can kind of also figure out what we're doing with our stuff because we got some weird orange things happening and we're not really
Yeah.
sure. So,
Yeah, and kind of just the way the industry works, people kind of left Orange Dream in the dust,
mm,
like they do a lot of genes. And I kind of always hang back and kind of, I don't necessarily buy into it when it's top of the line. Like Sunset at one point was a $30,000 animal. I don't even have any now. I don't really like the gene, but I'm not begrudging it.
agreed. Agreed.
People can like whatever they want, I don't care. It's just not for me. I don't think it helps my stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't think my stuff necessarily helps it.
Mm.
So I just decided not to do anything with it, at least for now.
Yeah,
Uh,
working with what you love, like what your
yeah,
passion is for. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
yeah,
Not what's
100%.
the new thing or the in thing or the focus. Yeah.
Well, and it just shows you there's so much to do. Like I would say right now, one of those genes that's in the dumper kind of
Mm.
is like asphalt or gravel, probably gravel even more than asphalt.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all kinds of stuff with it because it is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
When you start to layer genes and get super asphalts, you can just make some amazing stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And you get the chance to really show some color too and stuff that has some rich color with that combination, I'm sure too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So you want to see that single gene scrambler?
Yes, please.
Kind of get started on that stuff.
Yes.
All right. So this is a male. I've got a female. She's about the same size, so they're not ready to breed yet.
Okay.
But let me see. I mean, I guess the camera can see that.
Yeah.
So what you're looking for in Scrambler is, you see that side pattern. The way I describe that is blown out.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
is kind of blown out sideways, going toward the head and toward the tail.
okay.
Okay, so that's the biggest marker of Scrambler. it kind of lifts from the belly a little bit, and then it blows it out like this.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see, I mean, that just looks like a normal ball python otherwise.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll see that. Okay, there's the blown out side pattern again. It also gets kind of a stripe with ovals or circles in it.
Going down the dorsal. Yeah.
Going down the dorsal, yeah.
Okay.
And it will amp up the color a little bit. I don't know that you can see anything. When he was a baby, you could see a little bit more orange kind of down in here, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
Okay. And that faded as he got older, like and turned
It got
white.
faded as he got older, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Very
And
cool.
so what I'm hoping is when I can, this is the single gene, I think.
Mm.
And what I'm hoping is that, I can make some supers when I pair them, hopefully next year at this point,
Okay.
if I can get that female to eat for me. But the three things are amped up color, blown out side pattern, and then those circles or ovals that you see sort of embedded in a dorsal stripe.
Okay.
Make sense so
Yep.
far?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Very cool.
All right. So unfortunately, some of these are going to be bigger or smaller animals,
Yeah.
but what I'm going to try to do is layer on a gene at a time. So the
Okay.
next one is just going to be OD Scrambler.
Okay.
All right. So the OD Scrambler, you start to get a little bit of orange, which I hope it looks like the camera's picking it up
Yeah.
from what I can see.
Definitely
You've
is.
got,
Yep.
and you've got the blown out side pattern again, right?
Yep.
You can see the blown out side pattern. You can see a little bit of the stripiness I'm talking about. I don't see any circles in this one.
Yeah, that one kind of wraps around and goes to like saddle-y almost.
Yeah. So it's really a combination of those three things for me. The thing I look for most is the blown out side pattern.
Okay.
And it just makes me more sure if I've got the circles in it. And you'll see some of the animals I have more circles, and the amped up color. So this one's only one dose of Orange Dream and not amped up too much. But you'll see with the next one where I had 2 doses of Orange Dream, all of a sudden it looks really nice.
Mm. Would
All
you
right.
say that the alien heads almost never have those typical spots in them? Because that's what I'm noticing in this animal and the last one, is that there's no real alien head spot in the center.
Yeah, it definitely cleans those out. I think there's one on this side where you can still see the eye spots.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, for a lot of them, it also cleans those out. You're right.
Okay. So it's like a minimal. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very
All
cool.
right. So we're building the best scrambler you've ever seen here.
So excited.
All right. So this one is a super OD scrambler, or maybe even super high OD scrambler. So first thing I'll show you, well, the first thing you'll see is the color.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And there's our blown out side pattern again.
Very cool.
And it kind of lift from the belly. You
Yep.
can see it really well there. And probably more of the same on the other side. You've got a few ovals or circles in there,
Mm.
and you can see how it's kind of striped out,
Yeah, it's drippy.
right? Yeah, very kind of discontinuous looking stripe.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. So now we've got super high OD and scrambler, right? So now we're going to start to get really nice.
That is pretty.
So let's add, we'll show you one where it's super high OD scrambler with Barnard line black pastel, and I'll show you one, then we'll go up to a super scrambler.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So this one,
Oh, that is so cool.
and again, like, what do I see, or what do you see? Remember the first one, you see that blown out side pattern and the lift from the belly, right?
Yep.
All right. And then we're going to look for the stripey
Yep.
and the circles. You see the circles in there?
Yeah, popping through the dorsal. Very cool.
Yep. And, this one's pretty young, so it's still pretty feisty. Might get to see him bite me right on the video. But the black pastel just adds that sort of layer of pumpkin orange,
Yeah,
kind of on top of it.
richens up the blacks, but it also adds, like you're saying, that undertone of orange kind of is able to kind of bleed through. It's very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, like, my experience, all black pastel does it, but Barnard does it the best.
Okay.
They just have, it has a lot of orange undertones. I've been selling Barnard line black pastel for Tom now for like 5 years because I love it. I try to use it as exclusively as possible.
Yeah. It's a great combo for it too.
All right, so now the next one we're going to have to take out the Barnard line black pastel,
Okay.
but it is super high OD and it is super scrambler, and we add calico in,
Ooh, yay.
which is usually what I get a lot of people. Well, not a lot. Some people go, "Oh, it's just calico," or "Scrambler's calico." But what you'll see that's different here is you'll start to see the actual calico in it.
Ah,
You see the white.
yeah. Stunning.
Okay?
Stunning. I love calico in Scrambler personally. I've
Oh,
loved the productions out of it. I feel like calico adds that oomph to it.
yeah. Yeah, I do too. I had to spend some time taking the calico out just to show that it wasn't just calico.
Yeah.
And you just saw a few animals with no calico.
Yeah.
So now I wanted to bring one in with calico so people can see the difference. But you start to get cool ringers like that,
Yeah.
and it really scrambles it up. But see how stripy it is now?
Yeah.
Because this is super scrambler.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it's a super scrambler, so you get very, very stripy, and you get kind of like almost like a sawtooth stripe.
Mm. You get like a almost like a barbed wire kind of effect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you get huge lift from the belly.
Oh yeah.
Now the pattern's not just blown out anymore, it's lifted way up. And even more so, I think, on the other side, if she'll cooperate with me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now
So,
is that ringer with have you only really seen that with calico or is it with other genes?
oh no, I see it with other stuff
Everything?
too.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I just get ringers with super scramblers.
That's
It seems
interesting.
to happen a lot with super scramblers.
Okay.
But notice like there's not even any saddle coming down anymore.
No, yeah, it stops like midline.
Yeah, it's like the where the saddle used to come down, you get these kind of drip marks.
Yeah. Very cool.
And yeah, I mean, for me, this is the best. I just sold this female to somebody for way too much money, and I appreciate it because it keeps me going. But but it's just beautiful. For me, it looks like it's painted.
Yeah. It
Mhm.
looks like it's literally stenciled on the outsides of it and then blushed up the center of it. It's just so cool on the dorsal, especially.
Yeah.
I love it.
So what is cool now? Like people can see before the calico, they can see it with calico, so that we can see the difference.
Yep.
And now I'm going to go to an animal that people have gone absolutely berserk for online because she's just so beautiful.
Uh-oh.
And I think, we can talk about it, but someone suggested that the extra gene in this is fader.
Okay.
And I don't know squat about fader. I've got to talk to Kevin maybe and say, Kevin, is this fader?
Yeah.
So before I show you, drum roll, please. No. Now this has got everything. It's got super OD. It's got super scrambler. I believe it has calico. It has Barnard black pastel, and I think fader and yellow belly too.
Oh wow. Genetically packed.
Genetically packed.
Holy, yes, I've seen her.
So I can just what I'm seeing in the camera doesn't look as bright as she is. But you can only do as much as you can do with a camera.
Yeah.
But you get this totally white belly, and I
So,
believe the fader, like you can see where the patterns disappeared here.
yeah.
It just and so the scrambler, you've got the lift up from the belly. I believe that's kind of calico doing that kind of pixelation here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it the yellow belly or is the calico doing the pixelation? Hard to say.
With so many genes, it's just so hard to know.
Yeah.
But let's look at seeing the stripe again.
Yep.
You got the stripe, and you got some ovals and circles in the stripe. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to play nice, but you can see the ovals and circles in the stripe, and you can see obviously the huge lift.
Yep.
You don't have any blown outside pattern lift left. The lift is just halfway up the snake.
I also find it very interesting that there's almost a highlighted splash of color between the dorsal and that side orange. You have that almost black and gray. It's so cool. It's highlight. There's like highlighted spots going down. Super cool looking.
And this thing too, like you were, well, you said you saw it at the show.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just neon orange.
Yeah, the camera does
Everybody,
not do her justice, but but she's
and
awesome.
I get accused all the time. Oh, he's editing his pictures and whatever. I'm not.
No
I mean, if I
filter.
do edit, I won't say I don't edit. If I edit, I'm editing it to try to look like what it is.
Right. Right.
Trying to make it look like, if anything, slightly understated
Mm,
for what it is, so that people, when they get it in their hands, they're very happy.
yeah. That is a beautiful, beautiful animal.
Yeah, I just love her. And um, I actually, I actually found in this clutch, I had her tested. She's not het lavender albino, but I started making lavender albinos this year.
Yes, I saw that actually.
And, I'm not sure whether to be excited about it or not,
Mm,
honestly, because it takes all the color out, right?
right.
And I can tell you, the lavender albino male that I kept, that I think has the same genes as her, except for the fader. When I put them next to each other, I would definitely rather have her. So in some ways, it devalues what I'm doing, but it's nice to have something new and different in there too.
What gene would you say is your favorite that you've mixed with Scrambler so far? Or gene combo?
Oh, the one I just showed you.
Yeah, that one. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
gonna
I love
say.
her. I love her. I made one like her that I sold to a guy named Jamie Crawford from Rising Phoenix Reptiles. He's local to me here in Michigan, and it's just like her except without the fader. So he's an adult too, and he's beautiful. The only thing he doesn't have is that kind of wiped out color in spots,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's bright orange and bright black even as an adult.
Do you mind sharing what you think you might be adding in soon? What your maybe your next steps might be to add in to just make it pop a little bit more, or even genes that you're interested in working into it over the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the process of adding Mandarin. I'm in the process of adding puzzle.
Okay.
I made some Scrambler puzzles this year that I'd have to go get them, but I could show you if you want to see
That
those.
would be cool.
Yeah, they're really cool.
How
But
are
I wanted, this little show here was just Scrambler from a single gene building it up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So if you want to do some other cool stuff, we could do other cool stuff too.
Because I know that people asked me if what hets, like what recessives and stuff like that that you were working in, and I was like, I'm not quite sure at the moment. I know my thing was, does DG complement it or does it mute it? Um,
Yeah, I produced a deep orange. I don't remember if I don't think there's Scrambler in it, but deep orange, high intensity orange dream DG male this year. So I'm trying to work that in, eventually get Scrambler and stuff in it too, but it takes years,
yeah, yep,
But the cool thing about, like, at least the way I try to do it, is you're always building on something that you've already made or trying to. You're going to make mistakes. Maybe, to your point, maybe DG really mutes it. And I go, oh
right,
shit, I spent 5 years doing this and I don't like it.
right. Like when I think about it, I go, okay, Mandarin, that might complement it really well, like what you're saying. And then you have like the would Monarch complement it, would, stuff like that. And does Enchi, would you do like an Enchi DG might make it a little bit better? Like there's there's so many combinations. Like the recessive alone might not be great to add to it, but if you add that extra gene just to amplify, it's hard to say. Lots of future things to go in different directions with, for sure, for Scrambler.
I have I do have a clown. I believe it is, but it's in shed. You're
Mm.
going to be so upset that it's in shed, because I believe it's Super OD, Super Scrambler, Black Pastel Clown.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, 600 or 700 grams at this point. So He's pretty big and looks cool. So you could see, and also like I said, I got it in puzzle. I've got I think I've got a high OD. Yeah, I've got a high OD scrambler black pastel clown I could show you.
Okay.
So you can see what it looks like in some recessives. But I'm really, the thing that blew me away this year that I really haven't had much interest in. I've sold a couple of them, but is the puzzles. I freaking love what Scrambler is doing in the puzzle.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
awesome news. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because puzzle is I love what it does to the dorsal, and the fact that Scrambler has that almost drippy barbed wire dorsal. I feel like they may mesh really well.
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth because that was my hope. And I can show you just I've got a super scrambler. I mean, he's got like 5 other genes: high OD, super scrambler, het puzzle, vanilla, inchy, I think. A
Okay.
couple other things, but the super scrambler, you can see the puzzle influence even with the het.
Yeah.
And I could show you the animal. I could show you if you want. It'll take me a few minutes to kind of put some stuff away and get stuff, but I could put these away and then get the puzzle stuff and get that mail, and we could show you the puzzle and
Yeah.
maybe get the clown too.
Absolutely. I would love that. That if you're good with that, I'm good with that. That's totally fine. We're talking about you over here.
Oh, nice. All right. So, I brought a Scrambler Ultramel Orange Dream Pied.
Oh wow, we were just talking about Pied. Okay.
I heard you guys. That's why I go, I gotta get a pied. I forgot about the pies. But there's a really cool reason that I want to show you in pied.
Okay.
So I've got that. I've got it in clown. And I've got it in puzzle.
Beautiful. All right.
So I'll give you the choice.
Ooh.
What I have is Scrambler, and I have it with pied and some other genes, Ultramel, Orange Dream. I have it in puzzle. I have it in clown. So which one do you want to see first?
I want to see puzzle because I feel like they're going to be the best complement of each other, and I feel like I can't wait. I can't wait to see it.
I couldn't agree more. I was hoping, when I started doing this a few years ago, but it turned out it does.
Ooh.
So the first animal I'm going to show you is the dad of the sire, if we want to be, official. But the pops of the hatchling puzzles I'm going to show you. He's a het puzzle, but he's got a bunch of genes in him, and he's, I don't know, 4 years old or something at this point. So this is, you can see the calico, you can see the scrambler, see the blown out side pattern. That's been a mantra, right?
Yeah.
I believe he's super scrambler, not positive. There's so many genes that for a while, with some combos, you don't know.
Yeah.
But look, there's the ringer again.
I really wonder if that's a telltale sign of super scrambler, the ringer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see it in all of them, but I do see it in a lot of them.
Okay. Very cool.
All right, so we got our blown outside pattern. This one's het puzzle, high OD, enchi, calico, yellow belly, whatever else is in it. I can't remember all the genes, but you, with the earlier tutorial, you can see the scrambler, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good because I get all day long. Does this have a scrambler in it? So I'm going to use your video. I'm going to have a link that I send constantly to the 20 questions a day about Scrambler.
There you go.
All right.
That's
so
cool.
this is the male het puzzle, and you can, to me, the weirdness of the pattern, you can see the puzzle influence there.
I was gonna say, because some het puzzles really kind of are like a visual het puzzle, if you will. You can see it in him for sure.
Yeah, and it's hard to know if it's definitely one dose of Scrambler, might be a super Scrambler. All the puzzles he made were Scrambler, so I'm thinking he's a super.
Yeah.
All right, so there's him, and then I've got to show you the prettiest, most favoritist one first. When this came out of the egg, I was like, 10 years old on Christmas morning again. And I've said that like many times before, but that's why I love doing this, because I mean, you get such a charge out of it. So this is a
Oh,
visual puzzle for anybody who's not sure. You can see it in the head right there, right? And she's high OD, yellow belly, scrambler, and then maybe vanilla. I can't remember. But just look at how weird that puzzle pattern is, and how there's your blown out pattern on the side again, right?
yeah.
You're seeing like people are, how do you see scrambler? That's how you see it. You can see the amped up color that she has.
So cool.
And I don't know, she's beautiful.
She is wild looking. It's
Yeah.
she has this softness about her, but it's like
Hmm.
it's a bright and a softness that is just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, look at how you're just blown out so much on the side here.
Yeah.
But then like from the top, I mean, it's very puzzly.
Yep. And it's still got that drip almost going on too.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see, yeah, almost like watercolor or something.
Yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so I
Gosh.
was super psyched. I got a male and a female that are the same genetically.
Wow.
So I have a male just like this too. I put a ridiculous price on her. And I'll just tell you guys because I think it's ridiculous, and I put the price on her. It was 8K, and I had somebody offer me 6,
Mm,
and he's a great dude, and I just said no, man, because I don't want to sell her.
yeah.
I'm like, if you offered me 7.5, I would probably say no, because I just don't want to sell her.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a long time to make this. And look what you have left to do here. You've got another dose of scrambler to put in there. You've got black pastel to put in there.
Yep.
You've got another dose of high intensity orange dream to put in there.
Yeah, can you
I mean, there's,
imagine what that's gonna look like? That
I,
is
I,
insane.
yeah.
Gosh.
And, calico. I've got one. I don't think I don't, oh yeah, I brought one with calico, a puzzle with calico and scrambler, so you can see. Um, and I mean, this possibly could, I don't think it does. This possibly could have calico,
Okay.
because I think it's got vanilla, and vanilla covers calico pretty well.
Mm.
But I don't think so.
She is beautiful though. My
Thank
gosh.
you. I love her. Love.
She's she's staying with you.
The only reason I would even sell her for the 8,000 is because I've got a huge building project going on, and it's expensive.
Yeah, you were saying that on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of me just chasing a dream I've had for a lot of years.
that's very cool though.
That's a whole other show.
Expansion. I got it.
There
It's
you go.
expensive.
All right. So here is a male puzzle. Actually, these next two are actually for sale.
Okay.
But the pictures I have are pretty old. So you can see very puzzly.
Oh yeah.
It's got vanilla, and you can see the puzzle head, so
Mm.
that everybody knows it is puzzle. Um, it's yellow belly, vanilla. Oh gosh, I can't remember what else is in there, but scrambler is, because there you go, blown outside pattern.
Yeah. So I love that Scrambler brings that orange to the sides, but it also brings it to the dorsal.
Yeah, that you're seeing that orange up there, and there's no high OD in this.
Yeah.
I think that is just scrambler amplifying the yellow belly.
That's so cool. Like they work like hand in hand and give it that splash, which is just so neat.
Yeah, I really like this guy. I had him at a reptile show recently, and I thought he sold about 5 times, but he didn't.
He looks kind of tigery to me. He looks like the typical, he looks so cool. I really like his colorations.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. It's just that I have the male with high OD, and that's kind of my thing. I like to make super high OD combos,
Absolutely.
and so I was willing to let him go. But he's not cheap either.
He's cool.
He's not 8K, but he's up there. Um, but to my knowledge, these are the only scrambler puzzle combos out there.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't think I've seen anything really besides your stuff with Scrambler, especially
The
Super Scrambler.
Yeah, Mark Mandic, again, I mentioned him earlier, but he's got a lot of stuff
Mm.
with Scrambler. I've been busily collecting pieds, and you'll see why in a minute with Scrambler. I've made a few, and after I made a few, I started to buy them because I think it could bring pieds back. And I'll
Ooh.
show you. So here's another puzzle. The last one was a male. This one is a male. This one definitely has calico. You could see kind of on the side
Yeah, like
here.
that pixelation almost kind of up the sides.
Yeah, and you can see white coming through, I think, as well.
Mm. Yeah, very
It's
cool.
possible it could have like this could be fader or something else. I don't
Okay.
know. But right now I'm just calling it calico. But again, you got the blown out pattern, you got amplified color, even though there's no orange dream in there. Still very colorful snake.
Yeah, there's
Um,
no like of the classic browning that you see. Like anything that would be brown is orange, which is just so cool.
yeah, and I'll complain about clown in a minute because everybody loves that damn clown. But if you like color, it's harder in clown to get the color to come through, in my experience. Like I'll show you a single gene female, and you'll see there she's orange. She's high OD, black pastel, scrambler, clown.
Mm,
And she's nice. And I'm trying to refrain from judgment until we make the super. But I like what you just said. I like color.
yeah,
And even though I don't have the typical color gene that I love in this, which is orange dream or high
extreme.
intensity orange dream, it's still got nice color.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I can't imagine it with high intensity orange dream. It would be crazy. It's so
Yeah.
pretty though.
Thank you.
So pretty.
All right. So that is it for the puzzles.
Okay.
You want to shift over to clowns? Or
Yes.
clowns or pies? We'll let you have the choice. I only brought one pied, but that's all I really need because it's cool, and you'll see why I love it so much.
All right.
So what do you think, clowns or pied?
I vote clown because I think we have the same opinion on clown, and then we'll get to the best part, which is pied, because I love pieds.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for saying it, but everybody loves that clown. I get it.
I hate clown. I hate it.
I'm working with it because I think there's hope. But even the problem for me is that, it definitely will make like a super high OD clown is not going to be nice as super high OD without clown.
Mm-hmm.
And I still hope it's nice enough that, even as an adult, that I want to keep doing it because it's popular. But I didn't really start working with clown until a couple years ago.
Yeah, I bought clown, sold it, got back into it, sold it again, bought it again, and I was like, I feel like you have to have it because people want it. I'm like, but I don't want it.
Yeah, and I don't know, like I'm old enough and kind of at retirement age. I've done well enough for myself where I'm comfortable, and I don't need. I mean, everybody likes making money. I'm no different, but I'm at a stage in my life where if I don't like it, it's going to go somewhere else.
Yep.
You know, I made some changes this year. I made a lot more clutches, and that's a whole other story too. But it made this year a lot harder for me. So I'll definitely be dialing it back because I can. I don't have to pay the bills with it.
Yeah, yep. And it's a
All
lot of
right. So you
work.
said you said you wanted to see the clowns, right?
Yeah, we'll go clowns.
Nobody wants to hear me yak on about stuff. So this one is Barnhart Black Pastel Scrambler Clown.
Okay. So it adds that beautiful, like the black pastel, actually brings out the orange, which is cool.
Yeah, that's why I really wanted to get it with the clown. So you can't really see. There you go. Like right here, you can see lift,
Mm,
and you'll see it on what I think is the super scrambler. And I suppose if you just follow that all the way up the snake, there's a lot of lift.
yeah,
But you don't have saddles in a clown like you do in a non-clown, so it reacts differently.
right.
Remember how it blows out that side pattern as the saddle's coming down towards the belly?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have that in a clown. So it reacts a little differently. And the one I've got a hatchling that I think is a super. So you could see that, but there you go. I mean, that's a good shot, I think, of the camera.
Oh yeah.
All this lift right here up from the belly.
Yeah.
But you've got some ovals, I think, somewhere, don't
Yeah, right there.
I?
Yep.
Oh, look up right by the neck here.
Yep.
You see that that oval right there.
Yep.
So you got that kind of inside of it, and clown is stripy anyway, but you've got kind of the stripe and the lift. So, hopefully next year we'll be breeding her to a male that is the same combo. Although I don't want to get super black pastels made, but I have a chance of making other males, and I've made some other males this year. But I want black pastel, super high OD, super scrambler clown to really decide if I want to, kind of keep making them.
You could see the potential in it for sure. You could see the potential. It's kind of leaking through. It's almost accentuated by the Barnhart black pastel for sure.
Yeah, and if you remember, like earlier on, I just showed you an Orange Dream Scrambler, and it was fairly unimpressive. But then when you add another dose of Orange Dream, it just went kaboom.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe that'll happen with the clown. But like I said, like my experience with the clown is that it will always take away from that bright orange color. It's not going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. So you've got to add more stuff in there to kind of combat that.
Yeah.
All right. So we did that one. And now I'll show you this is one I hatched this year. I believe this one is a OD Leopard Black Pastel Super Scrambler. And you'll see the ringer again too. He's a little one.
He's so
cute. I gotta kind of show him.
Oh,
so let me get really close. Yeah, so you can see very striped out. Leopard does that too, right?
Yep.
But let's look at the Scrambler on the side. You see huge lift.
Huge lift.
And all the way down into here, and then you've got, a ringer again.
Yeah. Love that almost gray washing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just Scrambler doing it, or could that be Fader in that? Calico mix. I don't know.
Very cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's got good color, at least as a young animal. I believe there's high OD in there and the black pastel helping with that.
Very cool.
All right, so now we're just left with the pied, I think.
Okay.
Those are the other clown I have is really nice, for a clown. But I believe it's super high OD black pastel super scrambler clown, but it's in shed.
Okay. I'm personally excited for the pieds because that's what got me into ball pythons. Is the first time I went to school for genetics, but pied and ball pythons was just, I had to have it. I had to.
So let's talk about that, shall we?
Yes.
I think the pied stuff is what got most of us into it. And still very popular, but more as a pet today. There are lots of breeders that have abandoned pied projects, and I have what I think is the answer, but what do you think? Why do they do that? Why is it less popular?
I think that people want pattern in their pieds, and they want color in their pieds, and you have a pied that has like 6 genes in it, and it could almost look the same as a normal pied.
Or be like so high white that you go, oh, I've got 7 genes. It took me 8 years to do this, and it's 90% white or more.
Yeah, it's a sock neck, and it's okay. Yeah.
So now, with all that said, let me show you. And I've now seen this with Orange Dream pieds with Scrambler, Ultramel pieds with Scrambler, Hypopieds with Scrambler.
Ooh.
I don't know. Lots of pieds. I can't think of them. So I've got everybody bought the males up right away, but I've got females left for sale. This, I believe, is Orange Dream Scrambler Ultramel pied.
Jeez.
And look at how that's the only white.
That is so crisp. Love that contrast.
Yeah. This is the thing about, like I said it earlier in the show, or maybe the beginning of the show. What is cool about Scrambler? That what I think that single gene is. We'll find out next year when I breed them if it is. It's boring. There's nothing exciting about it at all, and yet look at the combo power.
That's beautiful.
So every scrambler pied I've produced, it varies in the amount of white from say all the way down to no white up to maybe 80% white. Or I'm sorry, 20% white.
Okay.
So you're going to have extremely low white pies. So the people that want pattern, look at, you're used to pies just having those lines.
Yeah.
Look at all the pattern you have in her.
And it's almost like a purple
Yeah,
mixed with oranges, and it's so cool.
yeah, that's the Ultramel, and it's got this one may have orange stream, but that's the other thing with Ultramel Scrambler pies. It's hard to know whether they have orange stream or not because they're really orange
Yeah.
with the Scrambler and with the Ultramel.
With her, I saw a little bit of almost like orange dripping into her belly area too, which is so cool. Yeah, it drips down into the white area on her belly.
Oh, down in here?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Very cool.
And you can see little pied influences on the side there.
Yeah.
But they all have, instead of the lines, you've got pattern. And instead of the concern of a 90% white snake or worse with certain things, like for example black pastel, every breeder knows if you put black pastel with pies, you've got a high white problem coming.
Yep.
And so I'm actually gonna do an experiment this year. I mean, we're in September now, so God forbid I could start pairing because I've still got so much hatching. um, but I bought from Garrick DeMeyer. I bought a Ultramel black pastel pied that all it has is a head. It has color on the head. The rest of the snake is totally white.
Wow.
And I'm going to breed it to the female that produced these this year to see if it will take that black pastel and control it better, even if it keeps it at 50-50 or so.
Yeah.
I call that a win.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because now you can put, if that's the case, you can put spot nose in your pies and not worry about having a mostly white snake. You can put black pastel and probably a host of other genes that I haven't even worked with, because you can expect to have an animal that isn't all white.
Yeah, that is so cool. That is exciting for Scrambler and very exciting for the future of Pied, because that's stunning. And the contrast with white and those oranges, it just makes everything kind of pop, which I love personally.
I would say though, from my only hesitation is pied right now to breeders, and I think to people that are willing to invest, not just pet people, but people that want to invest because they want to make something for the future. They just sort of pan past any pieds. And it's sort of almost it's not as bad as like pastel where everybody's like, no pastel. But it's up there.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't want to deal with those pieds. And it's all the things you said earlier that are the reasons. They're good reasons. But I invested in pies, and I bought a pair of hypo, I think they're orange dream hypo scrambler pies. And it's the same thing. They're just super high pattern, super low white. And so I'm gonna start making more of them. And I hope people come around and start to understand that the more I make them, the more it's sort of proving that you could bring pied back into your collection and not worry about all the things we talked about.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I agree. And the thing that I love too is that Scrambler seems to hold its color, its intensity, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's one of the saddest things I feel like in Pied, is that sometimes you have a Pied that's beautiful as a baby and it darkens out and those saddles get kind of murky or just kind of yucky, if you will. And Scrambler, I feel like, can really hold that coloration and just for the length of its life. And I feel that's the biggest part, is longevity of coloration.
Yeah. I mean, even, it will still fade, like that neon one I showed you. That's sort of like the best version of anything I've made so far. It'll still fade a little. but not like what you're talking about. And by the way, you said, if you will, I will, because they are yucky and they get yuckier as they get older. And the Scrambler definitely, I mean, obviously I'm a color guy. I like Orange Dream, and more than that, I like high intensity Orange Dream. More than that, I like super high intensity Orange Dream and other things that amplify it even more. That's why I'm interested in Scrambler. That's why I'm interested in Barnard Black Pastel, because especially, you know, I tell this story all the time. So I'm going to give you the truncated version. People are probably tired of hearing it, but back in the day when they first made Orange Dream Pieds, I bought one for like 4 grand, and that was the most I had ever spent on a snake
Mm.
at that time. Excuse me. And within 6 months, that snake looked like go to call it yucky is a compliment. It looked like so. So I'm not mincing words here.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it for way less than I paid for it, and I was completely disappointed.
Yeah.
And I never want, I'm going to make stuff that, like the Orange Dream Scrambler, that's not going to age super well because it's only got one other gene other than Scrambler in it. But my goal is to produce stuff that when people buy it, they're happy. And 2 years later, when they pull that drawer, they go, that looks great. Anybody that says my stuff looks yucky in 2 years, I've failed.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely don't want that.
Don't want that.
Question for you genetically, and this is just a
Yeah.
personal thing because I look at your stuff and I go, what's the next level? Like, what goes up from here? Like, how do you get cooler than that? Because the stuff you produce is beautiful. My brain goes longevity, longevity, longevity. Is it lace?
Oh,
Do
huh.
we, is lace a pathway that you might be going on? Because that's where my brain goes. Because I watch lace get better as it ages historically.
I like the way you think. I actually I had I can't remember if he might have been Het Clown, doesn't matter, but it was and by the way, I hate white lace. I know we can say whatever, but it's super lace.
Yeah.
I'm a grumpy old man. Get off my lawn. Um so anyway, I had a super lace. I believe he was Het Clown, and I paired him with a big female, and she was probably too big because she crushed him.
Jeez.
And that was the beginning of the season for this year. And I had plans to try to mix it with Scrambler and see what it looks like. I'm not going to be surprised if they're allelic. Actually, I do not think they are the same thing. They
Okay.
react very differently. You never get that lace look like you do with super lace, all that like
Yeah.
popcorn down by the belly, but they do similar things.
Okay.
So I hope they pile on top of each other, but I'm not going to be surprised if they're allelic.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering because I love lace. I think it's cool, but I'm like, it might not complement it well. It might
Yeah,
get kind of lost in it because Scrambler might just be a little bit too intense for it, or Super Scrambler might be. But the single gene, maybe it's good with just one level of Scrambler, but maybe it's not as good with two copies of Scrambler. I don't know.
yeah. And I mean, even if they're allelic, you can get one of each, and you've got, you know, something synonymous with like cryptic or something,
Mm.
where, when you get one of each, is it a krypton that's one of each?
Yes. Yep.
Het clown, het cryptic.
Yep. 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 But
You can get something like that, and but I mean that's kind of the fun. The hard part as a breeder is that you put the same amount of time and effort into it, and at the end, if you get an animal, you're like, that sucks. But if you don't do it, you never know. So to me, like the way your mind is working, that's how I kind of like to think about it. I like to think about it creatively in what is going to make it better. And I don't really have answers. That's why I started to get some of there were years, I mean, probably a full decade, people were doing recessives, and I just ignored them because I wanted to keep doing what I was doing,
yeah.
and kind of drill down into the color and try to breed the best versions of whatever genes I could find to make the highest quality I could find. Um, or I could make, I guess.
Agreed. I
Um,
feel like so many people's focus is how many recessives can I jam into this? And I'm
um,
like, what about the genetic combinations that just complement each other
yeah.
to the
I mean, at
next
the end of the
level?
day, we all want something beautiful.
Yes.
If you're going to spend money, you want something beautiful that stays beautiful. And, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I mean, there's some things that are clearly not beautiful. Like one of the most beautiful hatchlings is a super pastel clown. And one of the ugliest adults is a super
Super pastel.
pastel clown.
That's so true though. It is.
So, you know, I think no matter I, people, I don't want to piss anybody off by saying this, but people will just chase genetics and, like you said, kind of pile them in there and go, "Oh, this is a quad het recessive," and really, most of the time, I'm like, "So,
Yeah.
like, what is it going to look like?"
Yeah.
And sometimes it's going to look fantastic. So, I mean, I applaud people for trying it if they've got a thought in their head like, "Hey, if I put this with this, it's going to look fantastic." But like a good example of one that just piling it in didn't work, and maybe somebody had thoughts in their head, but like the puzzle clowns.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just looks like a clown. I you can kind of see the puzzle a little bit, but that's one of those.
Get
Whoever first did that, I imagine they were like, ah,
yeah. Like what? This didn't do what I wanted it to do. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, you run that risk. Um, but there are people that like here's a double recessive combo that I'm not go get them because I can be wrong, right? And as you pile more genes in or add more genes, or let's call it layering more genes, maybe and right now it's fairly hot. People love them. I do not understand personally why you would put hypo with desert ghost.
Yeah.
Just for my personal sensibility, they're too similar. And
Yeah.
to me, desert ghost is sort of my opinion. You know, try not to send me hate mail, even if I agree with you. But desert ghost is like improved hypo,
I agree. 100%.
and that there are some combos with hypo that are better than with desert ghost, but it takes specific genes added with it.
Mm.
So to put them together, I'm like, I don't see what you get out of it.
Yeah. One of
But
one of the
people like them.
one of the combos I started years ago, and it was genes that almost no one was working with and no one cared about. And it was like
Mm,
you said, OD, which was like no one really was playing with it that much. It was like dabbled with a little bit. Calico, which got like forgotten about for the most part, and
yep.
then Blade.
Ah,
And I added those three together and I did super OD Calico Blades, and they were stunning. Like
really? I'd love to see a picture of that. You got to send me a picture.
absolutely, because it that blade brought up that all that side pattern and tightened it all up and gave you that rich orange, and then that the calico just coming down the side, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. And like I remember talking to people about it and they're like, "Oh, it might not do anything." I'm like, "It did something and it was cool."
That's awesome. I really would love to see a picture because I mean, again, I think in a similar way. Like, I probably nobody's better at this than Justin. Like, if you go back several years, who gave a shit about spot nose?
Right. No
When
one.
he put it with a clown, it just went kaboom.
Yep.
And he's done that several times. Red Stripe's another example, maybe Red Head. And he's very good at trying to find those diamonds in the rough. And when you combine it with something like clown, I mean, he's known for clown probably more than anything else. um it can do some great things.
Yeah.
And so, I applaud that. I think if you're busy chasing Justin or anybody else, not that you can't, it's a, here's how I would say it. We collectively as people, I think we're binary thinkers unless we force ourselves out of it, right? Oh, I'm not going to chase anybody. You can still chase, just don't chase everything.
Right.
Don't just try to make everything I make or Justin makes or you make or anybody else makes. Go, ooh, I like that. I'm going to chase that. And you know what? I think if I add this and this, I can make it better.
Yep.
That's the right, to me, that's the right mindset.
Yeah.
And it keeps you interested. If you're just trying to put stuff together because you think it will sell, I think you're going to be unhappy as a
Yep.
breeder.
We did something funky. We had one weird clutch. We've been working with Lori,
Oh, I've
which
heard of that, but I don't know anything about it.
yeah, we mixed it with Desert Ghost this year, and we did a pastel Desert Ghost Lori. And this thing in the egg, like you said, Christmas morning, I was like, oh, oh my! I like didn't even know what to say. I cut this thing open. I was like, that's it. We did it. We got it. It's stunning, and it's just
See, I'm goosebumpy listening to you.
yeah,
It's about the passion, man. It's
yeah,
about like going, because there's just nothing better than that. It's the whole creative process
yeah.
comes to fruition as this egg is opened.
Yeah, and it's like that buildup of like what you think it might look like. And then you're like, all right, well, what can I add to it just to give it that little bit of spice to like get, and the fact that we even because we hit no other desert ghosts in the clutch.
Ah,
And
geez,
we
that's awesome.
yeah, and the fact that
I mean, it's awesome that the one you hit is the one you wanted.
yes, and we think it's a girl. So,
Ah,
so
nice.
like yes, but it was that moment where I'm like, we got it, we got it, we got it. And so it was just yeah, those are the
I want
moments that
pictures of that too.
oh, they're coming. She's in the incubator. She's probably in shed right now. Is she? I think so. She's probably in shed, but we will absolutely send you pictures because she is cool.
So that's awesome,
And
man.
she's got those high white sides, like you're saying too. That like it's just I we didn't know if Lori would be cool,
It's weird that Lori looks like
but it's like almost xanthic-y. So
Ah,
yeah, very neat. And we
yeah.
tested it for het red xanthic, and it's negative.
Ah,
So very cool. So maybe there's hope for Lori in the future, but I don't know. It was cool. But like you're saying, just do what attracts you.
yeah. I mean, hmm.
I know I
You're fun.
interviewed you at the one of the reptile expos, and you said to focus on what you love. And I feel like you're saying, you could chase a little bit, but chase what you want in that, what you want to add to it.
Yeah, I mean, and money is great too. We all need to make it. We all want to make it. Nobody's financial situation is the same. But if you're just, I feel like I'm picking on Justin, but if you're just chasing Justin because he sold it for $7,000
Mm,
and you don't really care at all about it, I think you're going to be unhappy.
yeah. Yeah.
And I always say this too, like if you just love pastel and clown, I think you're going to be unhappy too because you're not going to sell any of them.
I agree. Maybe as babies, but that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
If they can stay small forever, you're great. You got a great snake.
But you again, it depends on if your financial situation is such that this is a hobby or side business, I think that's the best place for it to be. Or retirement. Like I'm getting ready to go into retirement. I'm officially retired. Um,
Congratulations.
thank you. And I'm kind of young to be retired. I'm 56.
Yeah, that's awesome
Um,
though.
but but yeah, and so I've got other things that I want to do. But if you're doing it in retirement, you're doing it as a side business or as a hobby, you can make a little extra money and it's good. And you can also ride the highs and lows. I mean, if you guys have been around long enough, you've seen the recent, kind of crash.
Yep.
I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
And so there are breeders out there that have seen it 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And if you need to keep the lights on with snakes, it's very hard to ride that.
Yeah.
Maybe impossible, Um, but if you're doing it to make a little extra money and you're passionate about it and you're interested in it, I think you can, there are very few people that can successfully do it full time and make enough money and also, ride the wave as it's going down and coming back up.
Yeah, it's one of my arguments with some people is that they're like, "Oh, it's not just a hobby, it's my only job." And I'm like, "That's dangerous." And they're like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "It is very dangerous."
Yes, it is.
It's very dangerous. I've watched the industry like skyrocket and then just
Um,
plummet to the ground. So,
yeah, I mean, probably the best example of that, and they're still beautiful, but the Desert Ghost clowns,
yep.
they were $10,000 to $12,000, and then in a matter of a month, they were down to like three.
Yeah.
And now I finally invested in a pair in actually 0.2 because I want to get um my deep orange line in with them, and I want to get Scrambler in with them. What was the purpose of there was oh, that's not true. um I made Mandarin double het DG clowns this
Ooh.
year, and they don't look like anything, right? Because they're double het.
Yeah.
You can see the Mandarin in them, and I think some of them have orange dream too. But I did like three clutches, and so I'm gonna with Mandarin. It takes a little while for it to develop and to be sure you have it. Unlike other stuff, it seems to get better with age. Um, and so um, I want the females are a little small this year, but I want to put a male Mandarin double het to them because obviously Mandarin Hypo and Super Mandarin Hypo is really good. I think Super Mandarin DG is going to be better.
Yeah.
And with Clown, I mean, I just think that it helps bring that project back. It's like there's a lot to do with it still.
Yep.
It's just that that big crash that we were talking about, if you invested even $6,000 as the market was coming down, well, now they're worth, a hatchling is like 1,500 maybe.
Yep.
That's a punch in the face.
Yep.
Um, and there's definitely stuff I've invested in, and it's gone the wrong way. But again, it's a side business or a hobby for me or a retirement job for me. It is not what I need to put food on the table and keep the lights on.
Yeah. Like I remember my first pied cost me over $1,000
Hmm.
as like a little tiny baby. And
Hmm.
now like a breeder size proven breeder female that's 3,000 grams is $300, and that's a
Yeah,
lot. So
yeah, yeah,
it's crazy to think about, but that's the industry. That's just it.
yeah. It is. You've got to keep moving. You've got to keep getting people's interest with genes like Scrambler or high intensity orange dream or whatever your version is of those things. But that's why I do those things both to try to, be kind of cutting edge, I suppose, in my own way,
Mm,
but also because I love it.
yeah.
Those are the genes that I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I want to, and then what if I do this with this? And then what happens? And
Yeah.
I'm thinking about trying to get into, what did I just see the other day? I didn't buy it, but it was a clown. Believe it or not, it was a clown. Um, Not Wookie. What's the other? They're strangers. It was a clown stranger. Oh, chocolate.
Oh, yeah,
I
I was gonna
really,
ask you if you were working with chocolate because I love chocolate.
I don't have any of it.
Yeah, we just got
But
into chocolate.
I saw a super chocolate clown adult, and I go, that seemed to make it stay pretty damn nice as an adult.
Mm.
So now start layering in Scrambler. Now start layering in high intensity orange dream, and you might really have something.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that you work with such a extreme. I see your black matters are
Oh
like
yeah,
are like the creme of the creme. Like they're beautiful. Like
they
the
are.
blacks are just such a rich black, and that white kind of dripping down. Like it's just love it. And then you work on the other extreme, which are these bright orange animals, and it's just so cool.
Yeah,
I love them.
I did that with the Black Matters. And by the way, I got to give credit where credit's due. Mad Ball Pythons, a guy named David Gutierrez. He's the first one to make them. In fact, I bought his male. Um, but I've been making them for several years now. But I just loved it. I'm like, oh my god, it's a snake that's jet black, and as an adult, it stays jet
Jet
black.
black. Yep.
And it's iridescent too. I don't know if you know that.
Yep.
Like even right out of the egg, they're iridescent
Yeah.
and they stay jet black. I mean, they're blacker than my shirt.
Yeah, I saw them at the show, and they're impressive. And there's no other black and white snake, if you will, that's that rich. and holds
Yeah.
on to it and doesn't brown out or almost like kind of dull out. I don't even know the right wording, but it just eh, it's beautiful.
Do now there's all kinds of problems with super black pastels and stuff, but do panda pieds keep their blacks
They
as adults?
do, but I saw an adult and it almost kind of it wasn't as rich as your black matters.
Okay.
It lost that rich saturation, if you will. It kind of dulled out like a little bit. It was still black, don't get me wrong, but it was not as rich.
So two things since we're talking about it, maybe this will even just get cut out, but I love the black matters. From a breeder standpoint, I don't know where the hell you take it. Maybe it's nowhere. You just keep making these because they're beautiful. Um, but I thought about I have never had, and I'm making a black matter just for anybody who doesn't know. You can look it up online and you'll find it. And you'll find it in my social media on Facebook or Instagram. Um, but it is either super black pastel, super cinnamon, or one of each, black pastel and cinnamon, which typically have kinking problems. Um, but you add blackhead or super blackhead and champagne. At least that's what we think. Um, the reason I say that's what we think is I've got two different people that have had theirs genetically tested to come back as that, and they're charcoal black. They're not jet black. So there could be something else in the black matters that we just don't understand yet. But anyway, what I wanted to get to about this is I'm thinking about trying to do black matter pieds to bring in a little more white and keep the rich darkness that you were talking about. And I was talking to Ben from Rare Genetics because I'm wondering if like the blackhead, I'd heard this somewhere. God, don't quote me, and you can make fun of me if you want if I'm wrong. But I'd heard somewhere that blackhead is it sort of like helps problems like that,
Okay.
like the kinking or like the like wobble and stuff like that.
I heard the same thing.
Oh, okay, good. They can
Yeah.
make fun of both of us.
Yes, they can. Yeah, I heard
Um,
exactly the same thing because that's kind of the route we were going to, is like, let's get something in there that fixes the problems.
yeah,
You know, the
yeah. So
duck
then you can still
billing.
work with the genes.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and I'm going to do another experiment this year. I have never paired black matter to black matter because super champagne is lethal.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm going to pair them because I have made I think 5 clutches of black matters now with lots. Every black matter is either super black pastel, super cinnamon, or one of each, and I have never had a single egg in any of those clutches kink up.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, and it helps with that extra rich color too, right? So now I'm like, well, it could be like kind of the new Panda Pied because it'll fix the kinking problems in Panda Pied and at the same time improve the color as it ages. Keep it that rich black and hopefully it'll stay iridescent.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are hunting for the best panda pied with good ratio of black and white coloration, of course, and then that black coloration really holding and being
Yeah.
that iridescent. And I think that you have the best combination so far of that black and white snake. So maybe
They're
that's the direction.
well, and they're arguably the reason I thought I'd throw Pied in there to see what happens is because you'll get more white. I mean, the black matters they're like 98% black. They have white bellies, and then usually you can on the side you can see like pixelation, or sometimes you'll get a ringered by the tail, but that's it.
Mm,
It's like 98% white
yeah.
or more. Or I'm sorry, 98% black or more. And maybe in the problem with panda pieds is exactly the opposite, right? You can have a completely white snake, no black, that's a panda pied.
Yep. I made
So
one and I was very sad. It was the only one I made.
So you got kinking with it, and you've got that white problem. So Scrambler can hopefully take care of the white and the black matters. If you got a black matter and then you add pied, maybe that helps with the white. Keeping the white at a minimum too.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool. Two very
Yeah,
cool, different gene combinations, but they both have their striking beauty about them, and
Yeah.
and
And
it's
I
very
mean,
cool.
I guess you can see it. You could see it in the people watching can see it in me. Like, I'm passionate about it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Oh, we'll try this. We'll try this. That whole like kind of thinking ahead and what do we do and what is it going to give you at the end? That's the fun.
Yep.
And then you've got that Christmas morning moment we talked about when you finally get the eggs.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I know Mike is over here itching to talk to you as well. So
Oh, okay. I thought we were wrapping up.
we are wrapping up. We're going to wrap up
Okay.
a recording part, and then we're going to ask you about the snake that we want to buy and
Oh, okay.
yada yada.
I can't express to you how much I appreciate this opportunity to be able to sit down with Chris and be able to talk about Scrambler. I absolutely love, and one of the things I respect about him the most is that he has that passion. We are all here to make some beautiful looking ball pythons. And yes, a little bit of it is to make a little bit of money here and there. But at the end of the day, we are in this industry to produce things that we think are going to look beautiful. And he has that. And I absolutely love that. And I absolutely appreciate that. And he has done such a fantastic job with Scrambler. I cannot wait to see what the future holds for it. In the description below, we have a link to all of Chris's social accounts so that you can like and follow him. And don't forget to like and follow us, because you liking this video will help spread it to more breeders and more reptile enthusiasts. We look forward to doing many more deep dive episodes, so don't miss out. We will see you next time.